Alright, we're going to do a quick video here on how I'm going to move this electric fence. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. I could walk over there, turn the fence off, and, really make some big movements. But the sheep are still going to be grazing, okay? So I don't want to necessarily allow a ton of slack to happen in this fence where the sheep could essentially walk right over it. They're excited about the new grass, okay? I just moved it a little bit over there. They're excited about that. And I do have my tractor there. I still need to get some work done on. So we're going to move it gently. We're going to move it slowly. I'm going to step over here. Now you can see where they've been grazing. It's low, okay? So we want to get past that. So I'm going to go one post at a time. And now I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be meticulous. Some of you aren't going to like this process, but your ground's a little dry. We're going to tap it that way. We're going to tap it that way. Now it's going to come up, okay? We're going to bring this in where we're going to put it now. Put it in the ground. Now, if you noticed, fences, I don't know if, here's a little tip for electric fences. A straight line from that post to that post is going to make it slack, okay? If I go that way, or if I go this way, it'll get re-tight. So if I pull this post towards me, okay, I've essentially made a triangle. So now we're not at a straight line, so this becomes tight. The line is now tight again. Okay, this is kind of the theory we're going to be using here a little bit. I say a little bit because we're going to change that up. Again, tap this post, ground's dry. We're going to see how it's moving down there now. So lift straight out. Again, when we go straight between that post and the next post, it's loose. When we come this way, it's going to tighten up. Now, I only want this post here. This is my end goal. This one's broken. Doesn't have the foot stepper on it down there anymore. But see how it's loose now? Well, look at this sheep. He already coming over here. He's curious. Easy for him to walk over right there. So what we're going to do, where are we going to expand it? We're going to expand it that way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over here. And I'm going to grab this post right here. And we're going to move this one. And yes, it is right next to the sheep. It's kind of the point. This is where I want it to be the tightest. I kind of want them to not feel like they can just simply walk over it. So pull this one out. We're going to pull it tight. Okay. Keep pulling it tight. Now, here's what I am going to tell you. When you get to the other side of a fence, that side might not tighten up because that has all of that run that it has to go before it gets back here. Every little bit of friction is going to add up. So now again, we're going to come up here. See how we have a triangle? From that post to that post is no longer a straight line. So since it's this way, it's being tighter than what it needs to be. So we're going to lift this out. Now again, when we go to the center, it's loose. So if we go this way the same amount, we've now added this much grazing area because it's based off the center line. Okay, again, look, that post to that post, the line is like here. We are that much there, so we can go from there to the center and out the same amount, out to about here, without changing the tension on our fence. So again, lift it up. There's the center. Over here is our new spot. Okay, we're increasing the grazing area. Now, obviously, this changes if you want to control your grazing area, but you can see just by sliding those posts over, I'm already adding a lot. Okay, again, now this one's this way because we moved that one out. So with this, slide it out there. Our tension should be essentially the same. Now again, I left my fence on. Now where this changes when you get out here to a loop. Okay, when you get to a loop, obviously, moving this one is going to be less angle, less angle, less angle. So this is where you're going to have to kind of shift it back and forth. Remember, we have that slack over there that we still haven't pulled out. If I come closer to that, okay, I'm going to come back here. About here, where I have this pole going the other way, is where we're going to be able to pull that slack out. So if I come this way, I'll just pull it. Oh, come on. Oh, there's a knot. There's a knot right there where we tied two pieces of fence together. That right there is why we couldn't pull the slack out. Okay. I just popped it on that side of the little hook. So now, make sure that's in because we're going to put tension on it here in a second. But now, if I grab this pole, I can pull that tension out. See? Loose, pull it tight. Okay, so that's what we're going to start basing our other movement off of. Because again, now we have this post to that post. Here's our center line. Okay, we want it to be loose because we're going to move the other side. So we're going to go center line to make it loose. Okay, We're just moving this over a little bit. Now we're going to come this way with it, which is going to be tighter than normal, but that's fine because we're moving the whole pasture over here. I'm doing this in real time. You could skip through this, but I kind of want you guys to see how long it takes to move a little mini pasture. Now, obviously, you're walking across a giant field. It's got a little bit of a different situation. But for the average homestead, the average small farm, I mean, we're talking, this is a run, and it goes up there, and they have another big area. You can fit a lot of sheep in here. I don't, but that's just specifically, again, this one's stuck in there. I don't want to yank on it. It's plastic, so step on it there, comes right out. Okay, here's the slack that we need to be concerned with. Now, you see this on laying on the ground? Sheep will walk right out there. So now, it's the big time where we want to walk over here, especially with them grazing right here. They get spooked, they're going to jump right over it. Grab this and go all the way out. All the way out. Until it tightens back up a little bit. You got to keep that tension in there, otherwise they're going to go over it, okay? Now you see how much that just moved? That fence post was between that one and that one. So it was back here. We just added all that space by moving a couple posts. They're already at it, look. They want that clove, they want that good stuff, so. Again, we're going to come up here. Now, if this fence wasn't on, I'd probably just remove this post completely out of the loop. But it's on, so if I grab it, it will shock me. So let's go where I want this new post to be, which is here. Now look, you could easily get out of that. Let's just kind of move quicker. Okay. I'll grab this, we're going to pull it out here. We don't want them getting out now. If you see that went down there, I'm going to have to fix that. A few ways you can do that. Go grab a spare post is probably the easiest. You can just flick it back up to where the loop is supposed to be. Y'all better chill. I see that fence down. Okay, that's going to be the easiest, where I can walk way back to the back side of that barn and turn that fence off. A lot of times I feel like people are going to go straight for turning the fence off, but again, my animals are still in this pasture. It means I kind of got to be cautious about going and turning the fence off. Okay, now one thing I want you guys to notice here quick as I'm moving these is how actual little I moved the fence from over there, but I pulled the front back a little bit and it really widened it up. Okay, because everything's based off of center line, of pole to pole. Okay, so like if I move that post, I can move that post probably 5 feet that way by the time I would move that end post 1 foot that way, just based off of angles. Now, you could sit here with a, geometry and do a big old map and showcase, what's the most ideal, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do that. What I do want to do, though, is possibly go over that little tree. So, I'm going to come back here. I'm probably going to move. See that, how it's touching that stuff I don't want it to touch? Now, again, we're going off lines, okay, straight lines. So what I'm going to actually do is pull this post out. I'm back here behind the tractor, so that way that never can get any closer than that. Then I can actually push this post out. So, it's all triangles, guys. All triangles, so. Again, I gotta come out and work on this later, so kind of don't want them in my business. So we're gonna come back a little bit, and that back a little bit is gonna open that space up for me to work on stuff. But now I can take this post and just run it way out, probably out here. Let's see how far we can get. Okay. Yep, way out there. That's a lot of grazing area I just opened up by moving a post. So yeah, now I'm gonna go around. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna straighten up some lines. I'm going to snug some stuff. I'm going to fix that fence piece down there we talked about. That's probably going to take me another minute too. This is a 10-minute video. That's 10 minutes that I just essentially opened my pasture up from here, I think is where the line was, all the way over. And I never had to turn the fence off. I never had to do any of that. My water buckets are still within my fence. If I want to move them over there to encourage the sheep to stay over there, we'll grab a water bucket, bring it over into this grass. That'll encourage them and help them stay cool. It's not that hot out here right now. It's probably 70 degrees, so I'm not worried about getting shade. But again, if they want shade, whole shaded area up there, they have options. So they're gonna go through, they're gonna pick and choose what they're gonna eat, as you can see. This ain't really grass, it's a nice blend. So what I tend to do is when I got sales on something that could potentially be healthy for them, I'll grab it and then I'll spread it like on the outside of the fence. I've done a video on that before where I just spread a bunch of lentils over there because lentil greens are pretty good for them. So they're eating all that good stuff. What you eating? What's your favorite thing here, Jack? Yeah, what you eating over there? Oh, lots of good stuff, right? Yeah, you come here, Jackie Jack. Yeah, your baby. So I hope this helps. I hope it showcases that like electric fences, while they can be a little worrisome in the beginning, I think for a lot of people, because obviously you're keeping up your animals in with 2 strands, 3 strands, 4 strands, whatever you decide to run. They really can be good. It does take a bit for the animals to get used to them. None of these sheep came from a place with electric fences. That dog didn't come from a place with electric fence. My other sheep, which is probably up there laying in the shade, he didn't come from a place with electric fence. They've all learned over time. Okay, now look, he's over there, he's explorer. He said, I need to defend these sheep. This is my job. He's gonna start going around the outside, so don't get worrisome about that. He's just checking out what the new area is, anything he doesn't recognize. So, right? Yeah, checking out the new stuff. So that's his job. He's seen this dirt pile. He's seen other things he doesn't recognize. He's gonna go around and check it. So, yeah. Hope this helps. I hope it takes some worry out of doing electric fences. If you don't do it this way and you pull the whole fence down to put it back up, there's that chance that it's going to get tangled. You're going to end up with a lot more work than you want to have. So I find this to be the easiest, and I'll do full movements like this if I need to pull that back to, say, go up the other side of the carport, around the back side of the house. Again, I can turn the fence off, but my sheep are going to be out here because I'm opening up new pasture for them. In the past, I've also closed off here. Come on, focus. From there to there, there's 2 metal poles. I've closed off that so that way I could lock them up there. So while I'm moving the pasture, I've done that. It's just more work though. Do you really want to try to corral all your sheep and the dog and all that back there, put up a whole nother line that didn't exist before, and then break this whole fence down to put it all back up? If I'm just going right there, I don't. And again, I've run this pasture out the gate because, like I said, there's 2 metal poles there, so it pulls a lot of my attention. So I've come out that and then like back up that side. I've gone into the woods a little bit. I've done a lot of things, but most of the time I can just play this game of like grab a pole, pull it out of the ground, add my tension where I want it, or move it, step on it. Don't shock yourself in the leg, but it does happen. And then like that's going to create all the tension that I need. So yep, hope that helps. Have fun, have cool animals, don't be afraid of it. People were doing this for a lot longer than we are today, so you know, you can do it 5,000 different ways. Electric fences are fairly newer in terms of animal care, and they are kind of awesome because this fence doesn't take me a lot to put up, and it's easily movable, and I can constantly be moving my animals back, forth, around. If I know we have bad weather, I can put them away, lock them in there. It's a powerhouse, so especially for a small homestead. So get out there, have cool animals, build cool things, have fun.